is the representation of matrix representation, complete transformation matrix with respect to scaling. This is the combined effect in 3D. We'll try to discuss one program today. Just I will go for 2D program, then you can extend to 3D. I think this is the program problem that he has solved. I hope he has solved manually in your manually. Before discussing the program, I will just come back and tell the steps which are required for this. This is the triangle that you are creating. With OpenGL commands, you will create. With respect to a pivot point, you want to rotate it. So you have the steps that what you understood is you should bring this to origin. That means with respect to the pivot point you are bringing using translation scheme. Then the triangle looks like this. Then you are applying rotation, and once again you are doing inverse translation. These three steps you are combining. In the combination of these three steps is you are translating by minus xr minus yr, that is the point by which you are moving to origin. Then your triangle is available on that origin with xr yr is 0. So you are rotating by an angle theta. This is the transformation matrix for rotating angle in anti-clockwise direction. If it is clockwise direction, it is theta becomes minus theta. Once again, you are bringing to its original position. When you multiply all these things, we will be getting the combined 3 cross 3 matrix. So remember this, cos theta minus sin theta, xr 1 minus cos theta plus yr sin theta. You remember this transformation matrix. This is used for every point, and we are going to calculate new point that you are plotting. So this is the requirement in order to understand the program of the second experiment, which is there in your laboratory exercise. I think the same concept is there for scaling, that what we understood, and some mathematics. The problem I hope you solved manually and able to get all these points clearly. There are two types of transformation. Without bringing this object to the origin, if you do it only rotation, it looks like this. If you want that object to be rotated with respect to a point here, the pivot point is 3, 2. That's why your triangle looks like. Then this effect, other transformation, reflection, sharing, and the concept of deforming the object without changing the area inside. That is the logic behind sharing. The effect of all these transformation technique with respect to any application is required. Now this is another discussion that we'll discuss it later. This is outside the syllabus, but it is required. So we extended this concept to 3D translation. I think I understood the same transformation matrix with one more row, one more column is added. That is z-axis, tx, ty, tz. So this is translation matrix. Scaling matrix, same thing, but rotation you should be a bit careful because there are 3 axes are there. With respect to which axis you are doing is the important thing. So that is the reason we are looking. So the scaling with respect to a pivot point in 3D is same. You are bringing into origin, doing the corresponding scaling effects, and once again bringing to the origin. We are extending to one more direction. Whereas the rotation, you should be careful. Rotating with respect to z-axis means this point is rotated with respect to z-axis. Similarly, with respect to x-axis, y-axis is different. The combined effect we are trying to accommodate whenever you want to do it. Whenever you want to do rotation with respect to z-axis, you have to take care of these 2 axes into consideration. So let us understand how the transformation matrix looks like when you want to rotate along the y-axis. This is along the z-axis. Z-axis becomes same. In the previous transformation matrix of the y becomes same, whereas z and x changes. That's why your transformation matrix looks different. And this is with respect to z-axis. Similarly, with respect to x-axis, you are rotating the object, x-axis. So the combined, that is p dash will be rx theta into p. So this is 3D with respect to y-axis rotation. Y-axis rotation, same already I discussed, just putting once again in. So this concept you want to use it in the general 3D object rotation. This is an additional topic in your syllabus, rotation of about an axis that is parallel to x-axis. Whenever you want to do this, you should take care of this. There is an object here, you want to rotate with respect to a new axis that you are creating your own axis, that is y is equal to ax plus by plus c. This is the separate axis that you are using it. Whenever you want to rotate it, rotate about the new axis that you are your own user defined axis, then you cannot do directly because all your transformation matrix, what you have derived with respect to x, y, z, that is not with respect to a new axis. Now there are two possibilities. If this axis is parallel to any one of the axes, things would have been simple. If it is not parallel, then you have to make it parallel. So there are two possibilities. Now let us derive the case with respect to the axis which is parallel to, no, it is parallel to x-axis. So we are bringing this axis to origin. So that is the step. You are bringing that axis into x-axis because it is parallel to x-axis. So your object is moved along with it. So it looks like this. Now you are rotating. Then once again you are doing translation. So the translation effect, that is the first translation effect, rotation about the x-axis, once again bringing, and when the same concept you are visualizing, the combined effect results in rotation with respect to an axis which is parallel. If it is not parallel, then things is changes. Now you observe this axis is not parallel to any one of the axes. Your object may be somewhere here. Now you are rotating with respect to this. Then you have to move this to origin. First, you have to make this axis passing through the origin. That is the first step. Then now you have to rotate it by an angle theta. You can rotate to coincide with any one of the axis. It may be x-axis, it may be y-axis, or it may be z-axis. I think the discussion is done with respect to z-axis. Now axis is come to z-axis. Now it is as good as similar to the previous problem. Now we are doing our regular case, taking rotation with respect to z-axis. While doing so, you have to take care of other two axis rotation also. That's why you have to rotate it. You have to find out the angle by which it is making an angle with y-axis and x-axis. That is alpha and beta that you are going to design. And finally, your rotation matrix, the combined effect of this rotation matrix looks like this. Translation, inverse translation, rotating x-axis by an angle alpha, that you have to find it out from the object so appearing on the screen, and you have to find another angle beta with respect to y-axis. After doing rotation with respect to these two axes, then you have to do rotation with respect to z-axis. Then your purpose is served. But the output is available in z-axis rotation, but it's not with respect to the axis of your interest. Do all these operation inverse. Then it will be, your point is get ready. And this is the combined transformation matrix is used for this. So this discussion, let us do it once again in the classroom. It requires some more discussion with each one of you. Then we'll finish. So other two transformation, reflection, sharing concept that we have discussed, and we have moved to programming now. So how to start? I hope you all of you are comfortable by this time. A programming concept. Let us discuss this program. This create a triangle and rotate this triangle about the origin and a fixed point. Now there are two cases. You want to rotate this object about the origin one point with respect to a fixed point. If it is asked, then you are given a point P of 9,3. There are three vertices. Each vertex is supported with 2 points x, y, 100, 100, 200, 200, 300, 100. So we are using a vector representation of the point. I hope, yeah, this is vertex support with a vector support, we can use it. So that is the creation of a points. Now from the main program, let us understand. You are initializing GLU init. I think you are familiar with this API. Next, glut init display mode, single and double RGB mode. You want to single buffer scheme or RGB support scheme. Corresponding macro will be invoked. Initializing window size to 500 cross 500. That means you are creating 500 cross 500. Totally 1000 pixels are possible. 500. You are creating a window with a name triangle rotation. Now you are calling a function glut display function. In the display, you are developing the logic. So I will just finalize the discussion of the main program. The myInit function, it is your own function you are creating to initialize all the initialization required for your program. Next, another 2 points is there is a message you want to put onto the output screen, printf, enter the pivot point. You can give any pivot point with respect to the corresponding pivot point, that triangle will be get. You can give the corner of the point or middle of the point or any point. With respect to corresponding point only your object is get rotated. So you will be asking the user to enter the pivot point. Yes, scanf underscore yes. This is, I think some of you may not be used this function in your programming. Now you are using graphic screen support. Your regular scanf function will not work. This is uses the standard buffer scheme, whereas this uses the graphic support. If this function does not work in your programming, what best can be done is you initialize these variables in your program and start doing your learning of just for your some of the error that may rise here in your according to your compiler or your understanding of usage of this function. All these things troubles you. If this function gives a trouble, what best can be done is initialize these variables. That is, I am using the XP and YP are the two variables that is used to take the data of a pivot point. Then printf, enter the angle by which you want to rotate it. This is also scanf. Yes, because you are taking data in a graphic screen, not in standard buffer screen. So these are all some compiler issues that should be taken care. Theta, that is the angle by you are asking for the user. And glut main loop, making this event runs forever. I hope this main program is comfortable to you. This is just similar. The two important function is how to take the data the online, you are understanding here. Now, whenever this glut display function is invoked, it will be passed your control to display function. I hope this myInit function is clear color. Here used 2.0, 2.0, 2.0, 4.0. Here the color values of RGBs are supported. Point to that is depends on the RGB. You can background color you can initialize. This is color 3F with respect to the color of your triangle size, and GL point size, the point of the line is 4.0 is initialized. You can increase the size of the line with the help of increasing these attributes. These are all some extra APIs which are adding to this program to understand. There are numerous such type of things are there. We cannot discuss all of them. Best way is you have to learn one of the book available in the net free of cost, that is on Redbook, OpenGL Redbook. So which he has given all these APIs with explanation. One interesting API which is there, I will just discuss it later, but you try to make use of this GL matrix mode, GL projection. You are projecting your output to the output screen with the help of orthographic projection. Here it uses a support of projection. A standard macro GL projection is used. So in the coming slide, I will try to highlight this statement. Time being, you will try to use this. Next, since all these data are stored in a matrix, first you are going to make the current transformation matrix as an identity matrix. Using identity matrix, your data is get operated on the identity matrix, the new matrix is obtained and that will be get displayed. These are all some of the extra things which are required for this program. I hope you understood this GL ortho 2D minus 400, 400, minus 400, 400 means your corner point is minus 400, 400. 0 0 is here, and this is 400 400. That is totally the size will be of the coordinates will be under your control, minus 400 to plus 400. That is the range you are given. Based on this, your center point is located. So when you project this point, the points may be appears, your triangle may appear somewhere here by using uh, the, whenever you call the display function, calling GL triangles, GL vertex 2FV here. It is up to now you are using 2I, 2F. Now you are using V, that is the vector support. The vector value of P of 0, that is the first coordinate is used here. P of 0, P of 1, P of 2. Using these three points, the triangle is get created on your screen with coordinate system support. You should have the control over this GL triangle function and GL end. Your before rotation, your triangle looks like this. So somewhere in the output, you may looks like this. Then you are clearing the buffers, and you are, since theta is given, there are two information here. Our all cos theta, sin theta function, where theta should be in radians. So user gives in degrees, converted into radians, and for every point, I think you are having the transformation matrix support. Your first point, P of first point is taken, P of I comma 0, I comma 1, the first point is passed to xy. I think you are having the equation with you. That is just a 0 into sin theta. You just look into your previous matrix representation. The same equation is used here. So using that equation, you are calculating P of I0, P of I1. Similarly, you are going to calculate all the values, new values of these two values, because I varies from 0 to less than 3. All values are calculated. Now GL clear color, GL color 3F with your own color, because you want to change the color of original triangle to another triangle. If it is some color, say blue, now it has become RBG, green color, RBG support. And the new triangle is formed at P of 0, P of 1, P of 2. It is changed according to your transformation matrix equation. You are done using basic logic. You have derived this program and finally flush it. And this program will be available until you close it because of the event given. I hope this program is self-explanatory. You should be under this type of program control. The same program can be extended for scaling or any other operation that what you have discussed, even sharing, reflection, everything. But you should know how to develop a logic for this. This is the logic here. This is from the scratch understanding of your mathematics that what we have discussed, you developed these things. So I advise you, I will give a time from today, another 2 or 3 days. I advise you, those who are installed OpenGL support under any other environment, you have to develop this type of program to take the control over a simple 2D concept. Now in the next experiment onwards, you will be moving the same concept to 3D. But whenever you apply on 3D, this is not that easy as you think, because there are so many other supporting statements are required. We are visualizing in a 3D environment. Visualization in the 3D require much more mathematical support. But fortunately, OpenGL supports an API. You need not to do it from the scratch. So this program, I will show you at the end. The same program can be written with 2 or 3 lines with API support. For this, the complete logic, there is single API, GL rotate F, enough. You just supply the data and it rotates and gives to you. So you need not to do this scratch logic. But I advise you to do from starting logic, then use APIs. You will understand the concept behind each and every API. I hope with this introduction on this program, I'll move to the next topics of transformation in OpenGL. Now you are using instead of using this standard logics of our own, you'll go for OpenGL APIs which does the same thing with the easiest concept. So there are 4 or 5 points you should know before going to OpenGL statements to be used. First one is modeling. Which model you want to create. Now we are extending the 2D to 3D. The OpenGL statement for 2D is not there. The whatever it is there for a 3D, we are going to use it for 2D. Only the Z, we are going to make it 0. Second one is after modeling, how to view that model. For example, whenever you see an object, say it is a some say triangle, or you want a 3D object, a tetrahedron. If you see that, that is how to model it, first point. Next, how to view, in which angle you want to view. I think while taking a photography, you are all familiar with how to make our camera orient towards object and how to make the camera to be rotated to make that object should be appear as you like. So that is called orienting the camera and projecting onto the screen. Finally, when you take the output, it is once again becomes 2D. There is no 3D concept. Once again, it becomes 2D. So only while doing your operation, it looks like 3D. When you take a photo, once again, it becomes a 2D concept. So keep these points in your mind. This is called visualization. And finally, whenever you get a 3D picture, you require to animate it. If you say a cube is created, cube is modeled with the help of any of the modeling technique. If you model a cube, how to view the cube, in which angle you want to view the cube. If you view from front end, it looks like a rectangle. If you view in a particular angle only, you can see the depth effect of a cube. So that is the meaning of all these viewing concept. And finally, you want to rotate that cube in all angle. You want to tilt in x-axis, rotation, y-axis, z-axis, support of rotation, the cube, how it looks. All these experiment you are doing in the lab to visualize. So you should have these support. And finally, you bring all this into our screen system. These are all, one part is mathematics, second part is to the user. Everything should be made available so that when you should feel comfortable, it looks like realistic. So these are all some of the things you should know before starting my discussion. The one is, this is the car model. Car is the model. You are placing in your screen, you want to put it. Now you want to rotate the tires, or you want to rotate the car itself. You want to do many manipulation on this car. This is the model. So you are observing this in a frustrum, that is in an area of your interest. You can observe in a cube or in a frustrum. If you use frustrum, it is as good as realistic because our nature supports our eye to observe the object in a frustrum environment. That is called perspective view representation. You can, both models are available in OpenGL support to use in cubic representation. Instead of this, we'll represent a cube, you put the object inside. This is the camera and this is the viewing volume. This is the front face and this is the back face. Whenever you view it, that object will be appears within this control. We are taking the control of every points here and do the operation on that. The effect will be there on the output screen. So this is a 3D is just like taking a photograph, lot of photographs under the viewing volume. So after observing this, there are some points you should know. Camera analogy. I think up to now, you analyzed the camera with your own interest. Now you are making such type of virtual camera in the system. There is no camera in the computer, but we are using the virtual analysis of all these things and the corresponding transformation. Projection transformation, adjusting of lens of the camera is nothing but projection transformation. Viewing transformation, that is nothing, tripod. Define the position of the tripod and orientation of the viewing volume in the world system. So I think the cameraman will be doing all this tripod arrangement by a camera person. The third important observation you should do in transformation of the modeling of transformation, moving the model, where you want to move this model, the created model. Second one, when you do all these things, you should put onto the output screen. There is a separate, just like a window, there is separate port that you create that is called a viewport. Viewport is just similar to our window port only. The difference here is all your operation, after doing all your operation, you are putting to your own screen code system that is called viewport. Here we will be having the control over here it is and make physical photograph of all these objects that you can observe. Now, understood the transformation. Now we'll put all this into a form of steps. Specify the geometry. What is the object geometry? That is in the world coordinate system, we'll try to observe this geometry. Then you are having camera, that is camera coordinates. Camera is represented in its own coordinate. Your object is present in its own geometry. And project, that is you have to project this into your window, that is window coordinate. Finally, your window should be mapped to a viewport that is in your system, that is on your screen, that is mapped to a viewport. Observe all this one. World where your object is present, that is the geometry, camera model, and putting in your window screen, and finally you are porting everything into the screen, and finally it is a viewport. So you require all these concepts should be made. I think in the program it is done with only 1 or 2 APIs, but the theory behind it is too much. Each step uses its own transformation functions. I hope by this time you understood the meaning of transformation. Just like scaling, rotation, all these things, we have derived our own transformation. Here also you are going to derive our own transformation. Every transformation is equivalent to a change in coordinate system. Every transformation is equivalent to a change in the coordinate system or F-frames. Now we'll bring all this into some transformation support. Before doing, I think the word affine is already created, known to you. You want the transformation which preserve geometry. If a line is appearing, it should be line, it should not become a curve. Or a polygon, it should maintain its properties. Otherwise, it becomes an order. All these things should be maintained, then that is called as affine. The affine, the word means line preserving. Rotation, translation, scaling, everything is affine transformation. Even projection, concatenation, or composition of 2 or more transformation at a time, that what you observe, everything comes under the concept that is called as affine. If you go from affine concept, it will become cartoon. So that is how you should know these mathematics clearly before doing. So we have represented this in homogeneous coordinate system, that is each vertex is a column vector x, y, z, w. We used here 1 for all our purpose. Whenever a perspective projection is discussed, this w will not become 1. Changing the value of w, you can make the object comes near to you or go away from the user. So that effect you can do it by taking the help of this last parameter w. All operations are matrix multiplication, no addition, subtraction, everything is multiplication, because you are bringing into homogeneous coordinate representation. And a vertex is transformed by a 4x4 matrix, that is called transformation matrix. A vertex is get multiplied with this transformation matrix, and finally the output of vertex is used to represent on screen. All affine operations are matrix multiplication. All matrices are stored in column major order only in OpenGL. Matrices are always post multiplied. That means to say it get multiplied and then it will be projected. Product of matrix and a vector looks like the concept, because your one is coordinate system of 4x1 is get multiplied with 4x4, resulting you'll be getting your output onto the system. So now we'll use whatever, I think 1 or 2 statement you used in our previous program. Now you are using a better one. Specifying all this transformation, a programmer has to use specifying this transformation by GL load matrix. This is one matrix. GL mult matrix, that means it is used for multiplication of 2 or more matrix support here. Load matrix means whatever the matrix that used in order to multiply with your data, that is your loading. And finally, you want to rotate or scale or anything you want to do, we'll use GL rotate. You want to project it, GL ortho. If it is 2D, we'll use 2D. If it is 3D, then GL ortho only. So these are all some of the statements we already used in some program. Now you are adding so many APIs in order to visualize. A programmer does not have to remember all these metrics. I already given you a very interesting book called Red Book, which supports in understanding many routines which are used in OpenGL. All these routines cannot be possible to discuss. It's self-explanatory and it is your interest. Now we'll come to programming transformation. Prior to render or you want to put onto the output screen, you should view, locate and orient. Observe this. You should view that object, you should locate where it is present, and finally you want to modify it. That is orientation. So the eye or the camera position, 3D geometry. So manage all these matrices, and while doing so, you should use the stack support, because whenever you want to do one operation, the previous data will be get changed. If it is required once again, we cannot possible to get it back. So for that is stack support that can be used in order to visualize and combine all these things and render it. So this is the requirement. Anywhere understanding these through words, let us understand this with respect to a block diagram. This is the vertex. This is, we are viewing model view matrix. There are two model views, and your eye position of projection onto the matrix, that is projection. And finally, whatever it is possible to observe, only you are going to put onto the output screen. That clip, that portion which was not possible outside your boundary area, that should be removed, and put all this into your own device. You are normalizing to your own screen, because screen coordinate system is different from world coordinate system. You put into your own screen, that is called viewport. And finally, that put onto the output screen. So the whole concept here is what is working with respect to hardware and supporting software. And while doing, you should also observe with respect to each point or object, material is used for that object. That should also be taken care. Anywhere for beginning program will not do that. We'll observe it is standard material, shading, polygon rendering, polygon culling and clipping. All these things are the added thing you should do at every stage to come out with your requirement at the output. So just for pipeline architecture, how it works internally is shown with this block diagram. Let us discuss this matrix operation. I think the matrix operation is used here. It is GL model view or GL projection. I think in the previous program, you used a macro GL projection. This is the meaning of projecting your data onto your screen. So you are modeling it and viewing with GL model view support. And we are putting all these things into stack, for which you are going to use GL push matrix, GL pop matrix support. And we are observing in our own viewport, it is having its own width and height. That's why you are supplying the width and height with respect to the point it starts X, Y. So this is the viewport. Viewport is nothing but another window, but you are viewing your output on your own area, and that port is called as the viewport. So don't confuse with respect to a window and a viewport. The definition is same. It is also a rectangular, but viewport is the area where you are projecting your output onto your screen system. And some more shaping or viewing volume, you require project perspective. If you want perspective projection, this is perspective projection, for which we'll use a standard library, GLU perspective. I will discuss all these parameters later. Time being, you'll just know only this GLU perspective, and it create a frustum, a trapezoidal frustum area, and with the left, right, bottom, top, Z near and Z far. This is as good as 3D representation. And these two are the APIs used in order to observe in perspective. If time being, let us move to orthographic projection, parallel projection. That is standard parallel projection uses GL ortho, that you are already familiar. GL ortho uses 6 point. left, right, bottom, top, Z near and Z far. If you want 2D, GL ortho 2D, there is only 4 points. So using this support, you use projection transformation. I think whatever you have discussed, the projections, you are using the corresponding APIs in our program in order to achieve all these things. And typical use is orthographic. That is what I told. Orthographic is comfortable to understand first, then we later move to perspective. So to do that, you are having API GL matrix mode. You're calling a macro GL projection. It does all the matrix required in order to project in orthographic support. You load the identity matrix and you create our own projection area with left, right, bottom, top, Z near and Z far is same as GL ortho discussion that what we had done. So this is projection transformation. Now we'll come to camera. So camera is very important. So whenever a cameraman is taking a group photo, we will observe many things. The camera person will move and will put his camera in different angles and finally he'll settle and try to take a photo, and finally the created photo is not 3D, it is 2D. So while he is doing all these things. Position the camera or eye in the scene. Position the camera, position where you want to place. Place this tripod down, aiming of the camera. Then to fly through a scene, change the viewing transformation. He'll try to move the zooming effect and to observe the object. So for this, OpenGL supports an interesting API called GLU lookat function. You catch this. GLU lookat is a very important function. It is called virtual camera function. You are creating a virtual camera. You don't have a physical camera in our computer. You are creating with 9 parameters associated to that. IX, IY, IZ, where you are observing your object, that is I. Aiming towards which point you are aiming on your screen, that is aiming of a point which is having the coordinate X, Y, Z. And how much you want to tilt along the X-axis, along the Y-axis, along the Z-axis to give the effect of virtual camera effect of the realistic things. I hope you'll understand with another 2 or pictures that I will show. So that determines an interesting concept that is called viewing transformation. GLU lookat is an API which creates virtual camera in our computer, and we are using this in our program in order to create that effect. Now observe this. This is the command GLU lookat, which is having 9 values supported. All these 9 values looks like this. One is IX lookat function, up X, up Y, up Z. Where exactly it looks like this is your camera. You are observing a point lookat, that is lookat X comma Y comma Z. It is how much distance from your camera and your camera position and upper vector up X, up Y, up Z. Make this camera to be tilted along X-axis, along Y-axis, along Z-axis. So by specifying all these values, you are able to get a virtual camera effect. Now I hope you understood this through picture, the API's really effect on our computer screen. Still you want to look further, it looks like this. This is, instead of taking orthographic projection, now we are using perspective projection. Whenever the perspective projection is there, all points will be get coincided in your eye. If you observe any object is there, that will be get coincided. If you move your camera or your eye some position, then the object present here will become minimum or diminish and it becomes enlarged. We go very near, object becomes enlarged. So now you are creating this type of camera in our laboratory with the help of APIs. And this is the W and H, this is the viewport where you are observing your port. And this is the object. So the object is present in your own frustum. This is the area of frustum. And this is the viewing volume. From your camera position to the last clipping area, your viewing volume is present. And you are making the camera moving in X, Y, Z, all tilting effect with up X, up Y, up Z. Setting all these 9 parameters in that API makes the real virtual camera is, by default it is get created. you want to change in your programming for your effects, we'll modify these values and give the output to the screen. So time being, whatever you understood, you catch, and in the program, we'll change these variables and see the effect on the output screen. Then you will be more clear on these points. So to understand this, observe this is the camera position, and this is the object you are viewing, and you are projecting onto the output screen the effect. And here GLU lookup function is supported with I position 002, 000, that is the center that you are observing, 010. So based on this position, your so if it is not center, if you change these values, you can also observe the depth effect of this object. So in that way, this is the four parameter, four-way aspect ratio, Z near, Z far in the coming slides. Time being, you try to take these values straight forward and use it. With this, let us move to our program. Now you want to do on the object the translation. There is a direct command. You need not to do all our mathematics, whatever you have done in the previous program. You can directly call the function GL translate by specifying how much you want to translate along x-axis, tx, ty, tz. So the whenever you operate on the corresponding object by this, the output will be ready, and you are applying on your matrix multiplication, and it will be projected onto the screen. So similarly for rotation, you are having a API GL rotate, and we will specify the angle, and you want to make only x-axis rotation, you are going to make it 1, remaining y and z you are going to make 0. Similarly, y1, x and z 0 means rotating with respect to y-axis. This is the angle. Here, the angle you should specify in degrees, not in radians. In OpenGL command, angle is taken directly in degrees. You want to scale, stretch or shrink the object, then we'll use OpenGL command GL scale. In the previous program, we have not used GL rotate. We have used directly the mathematics, that is what is derived on every point, and you calculate it, and then you once again draw the picture. But if you call this function, you need not to do all these things. Only first time you draw the picture, call this GL rotate and project it, and you would get transferred based on whichever the axis that you want to rotate. All these things you can observe in the next coming programs. Now one simple program is used here to understand. GL translate F000, that is on the origin itself the object is there. That's why you are not translating to any position. GL rotate -52 degrees along the y-axis. GL scale effect, you make that 111, that is that object is increased by 1 time. This is the outcome. If you observe, this is the original picture. Now it is increased by 1. You increase the size along x-axis, along y-axis only, then the corresponding width and changes only in the x, y, z support. And this is the GL rotate usage of this API. So this is how it looks in the output in the screen. Now we are done. You understood so many concepts here. Before moving to your program, I'll just use viewing and modeling. Moving camera is equivalent to moving every object in the world towards a stationary camera. Viewing transformations are equivalent to several modeling transformations. GLU lookup has its own command, and you have to use effectively, otherwise you will not be under the control over the program. These are all something you should be known before starting your program. And one more interesting is, I think in 3D system, there are two types of system, left-handed system and right-handed system. I think in the mathematics, it may be taught to you. In 3D means holding the Z-axis by your left hand, and your thumb shows this direction of the Z, and remaining fingers perpendicular to that shows X and Y axis support. The right-hand system here it is Z-axis, the Z positive will be in the outside from the center, and you are holding your right hand, the thumb shows the direction. I hope You can remember this discussion in your mathematics. The same concept is used, and OpenGL supports right-handed system, not the left-handed system. So that's why you'll take care of this. GLU perspective or GL ortho makes use of this right-handed system in order to give your output onto the screen. So sometime in the mathematics, if you use this system, the effects are different. And if you use this Z right-handed system, the effects are changes. So correspondingly, you should take care of your control system on the output screen. This is regarding the left hand and right hand support on the computer screen. So there are so many other supports are there. For time being, I'll just refresh one or two commands which are essential. Resizing routing, resizing your view projection or viewing transformation. Another one is whenever you project all these things, you have to reshape it because it is concept is originally is reformed, and you will call the function in order to that GL reshape function. These are, we will not use it now. Anywhere we will coming for programs, we'll use it. Timing, I'll postpone these usages for usage. Just I will, these are all some of the program we'll try to discuss in the program itself. I think one interesting program in the resize, you are creating your own viewport. I think I given explanation on the viewport 0, 0 and W comma H. You are creating your own viewport with left coordinates is 0, 0 with a width of W and H. All your data is projected onto the screen with the help of GL matrix mode, GL projection, GL load identity, GL perspective, and GL matrix mode, GL model view, and load identity. Look at this function. So these are all functions, APIs that are used in the program. If you feel uncomfortable now, let us discuss it one more time. After discussing one program, I hope through that program you'll understand more APIs of these kinds, the same small routines with changing the parameter, how it looks. I'll postpone all this discussion in the coming hours. And finally, we'll come to representing all these things in the transformation. Just finally, so to make it more clear, there are two system transformation function in OpenGL, right-handed and left-handed system. It makes use of the right-hand system where Z-axis is projected towards the user. If you are observing your object, the Z-axis, the positive Z-axis is towards, negative Z-axis will be far away. That's why in the system 0, 0, 1, 1 is used for front, -1 is used for the last clipping plane. So the right-handed coordinate system used most often in OpenGL, both the local coordinate system and object modules and camera coordinate system are represented using right-handed system only. So for the translation, we use GL translate with dx, dy, dz. It is no, your model view is multiplied with a transformation function to get your changed matrix model view. And it is used to represent on the output screen. So keep this, what is internally it is going on is your transformation matrix is represented with model view, and new model view is get ready. If it is rotation, we will call the function GL rotate angle corresponding axis. If you make one for axis, only that axis rotation is used. Here if you observe that matrix model view is get multiplied with a rotation matrix. Rx comma alpha means the rotation matrix with respect to x-axis with by an angle alpha. That matrix is uploaded here and get multiplied, and new matrix is get ready. Usage of this function, GL rotate FA 0, 1, comma 0 refers to y-axis rotation by an angle A. This is same as rotation about the z-axis 0, 0, 1, A. So this is the rotation matrix usage. And scaling, GL scale Sx, Sy, Sz, and usage is GL scale 1, 3, 1 refers to scale along the x-axis by 1 unit, 3 units along y-axis, 1 unit along the z-axis. Changing these values, the size of the object will be deformed according to the scaling factors. And this is one interesting how 3D pictures are used. There is, you want to create a cube, you need not to worry. There is a built-in direct API, just like GLUT wire cube. One unit of cube is get created. This is a wire-framed model. We will discuss in the next hour which are all the APIs available. Standard APIs are there in order to create various 3D pictures. If it is not available, you have to do it from the scratch. So that is the requirement. Anyway, this is just whatever I discussed and just finalizing. Put all this into a program, and this program you can understand. You require it later, then you have to pop it out. There is a main function, my display is invoked, and remaining statements are as usual. So this, in this program, if you observe the display function is invoke my display. Here there is no init, program is initialized, everything initialized is done here itself. GL clear, GL color buffer bit, I think I discussed at this point. Here you call GL begin, GL lines function. In the output screen, you want x-axis and y-axis should be displayed. This is invoked. Is a standard coordinate system. Here it is. Here the standard coordinate system is used. That means to say your coordinate runs from -1 to +1, -1 to +1. Here it is not orthographic projection. A standard coordinate system is used. In order to visualize our Cartesian lines, this statement is used in order to draw x-axis and y-axis that appears on the screen, GL length. Now you are calling the function GL triangles before rotation, 0.3, 0.2, 0.6, 0.2. It is same as previous program. Here you used orthographic projection. Here your standard floating point vertex is used. 2D it is 2F, 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 and push this data onto the output screen because you require it later. And now you observe this function GL translate F 0.3, 0.2, 0. So with respect to 0.3, 0.2, you are rotating by an angle theta. You are bringing into origin by with respect to the 0.3, that is translate effect. Now once again you are doing rotation with respect to 90 degree, 0, 0, 1 with respect to Z. Now you are making one x and y axis is not used here because your 2D system, xy is there, Z axis is made support. Next, triangles after the rotation about a fixed point means once again you have to bring into the same position. Applying 0.3 to -0.3, -0.2, 0, 0. It is done in reverse order. That's why we are putting the translate inverse logic first, later, then rotation, then once again. If you observe, the transformation matrix runs from right to left. And finally, you are putting the same triangle and the output screen, and we'll pop it. And this effect will be there on the output screen. If you want to rotate the object with respect to a pivot point, 0.3, 0.2, 0.0. If you don't want to do, you want to do it with respect to origin only, then you need not to do anything. Take the matrix, rotate by 90 degrees, and then you project. That's enough. That finally your matrices get ready. Both the matrices shown here in this program. If you remove this push and pop, the effect will not be there as you expect. Your data output screen will not be of the way in which it is appears. So then only you'll understand the need of this tag support. Using standard APIs push matrix support, we can push all the data whenever it is required, you can take it back. So this program helps you to understand so the APIs under 2D with so many other extra routines which are added to this program. So with this, I'll try to end the discussion of today. And what I want to say at this stage is, I'll give 2 or 3 days gap, and I'll try to make each one of you download Visual Studio in the environment OpenGL programming. If you don't run this program in your laptops or whatever the environment you are having, the next programs will be little bit complex because so many APIs are coming. The effect will be observed if you know little bit of the previous one. If you don't know anything, whatever it is appears, you may feel uncomfortable in catching every point. You don't want to do that. So for that reason, I will once again insisting each one of you. I come to already last bit of your module 2, module 1 and module 2 is almost over. With only 1 or 2 discussion is there on module 2. By this time, I expect each one of you work in your lab and finalize and makes yourself comfortable.